Hey
This
guys.
meeting is being recorded.
Oh shit. Hey guys, this is the Beer League Beauties podcast. We got Laker on here today. He plays at Ohio University. Um, Welcome to have you on here, man. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So, you're doing a great job with it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so I kind of just gave Laker a text. I'm like, hey, I saw those the lightsaber videos at Liberty University, his cellies, and I wanted to have him on here and kind of talk to him about that whole thing. And Ohio seems like a great school. Seems pretty rowdy there, the crowd and the hockey. But yeah, let's get right into it. So you played for one of the best teams as a younger guy, Little Caesars. Can you tell me a little bit about Little Caesars?
Oh yeah, I loved it growing up. Growing up, I played for. From the time I was a little guy all the way up, I played for. I had two NHL coaches. I had Brian Ralston. He's an Olympian. And then I played for my dad too. So I was just surrounded by top tier talent all the way up. It was, looking at it now on my 16U team, I think we got two guys in the AHL right now. Antonio Stranges, Ryder Alston. You got guys, everybody. I think every single kid on that team had a Division One, at least one Division One offer by the end of the year. You got kids playing in the Big Ten right now. Tiernan Chowdy's at Michigan State. Patrick Guzzo's at Michigan, or no, Ohio State. You got guys that, there's so many like top tier guys that are playing. Nick Andrews is the captain of Colorado College right now. The list goes on and on. I could name a million guys, but yeah, it was pretty cool to definitely to see where we all ended up, I guess. So
Yeah. And who was your favorite? Like, were you ever really close with someone that's at a high level right now?
yeah, not even a question actually. Ryder Ralston. So Brian Ralston, his dad was my dad's best friend growing up. So we were always together growing up and super close. But yeah, he left Notre Dame. He just signed in the A. He's playing in Rockford this year. So yeah, he's sending me one of his signed jerseys right now. It's his first year in the A. I'm gonna throw it up on the wall this year for him. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty exciting to see that.
That's unreal, man. I definitely I saw some videos of him at Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, no, he tore it up.
Yep.
He had that sweet overtime goal against Michigan, at Michigan, where he was awesome there. So
Yeah.
it's fun to watch him.
Yeah. Um, Also, you said your dad was in the NHL.
Yeah, so yeah, he played for Lake Superior State, hence the name Laker. I think they were wagon back in the day. I think he won two natties, one lost in the finals again. And then for 10, 15 years he's up and down between the minors and the show. But yeah, I grew up with it. I mean I I was born in Germany during the lockout. He's playing over there for a year or two. Then he came back and he was signed with the Islanders, and we were living out in Connecticut. So I grew up till probably 5 or 6. I was still living out in Connecticut, right on the Long Island Sound, and then yeah, he retired, and we finally moved back to Michigan and everything. And but yeah, for the first couple of years of my life, I was everywhere to say the least.
Um, what teams did he play for in the NHL?
Dallas and the Islanders. So
Nice.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
And what NHL? What's your favorite NHL team?
Yeah, that's funny. I always get asked that. I don't know. I have a couple of his signed Dallas jerseys hanging in my room. So I guess them, but now you see you got all your buddies starting to get up into the show, and like I guess I try to root for, like, if I know guys that are playing on teams, I like to root for them, I guess. So,
Definitely. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I guess I just try to kind of root for whoever I know on the team, I guess.
Sweet. Yeah. I'm a Bruins fan, so
Oh, I heard you now. Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
die hard. But so after like Little Caesars and stuff, you went into the Knoll. Let's fast forward to the the Maryland Black Bears.
Yeah.
Um, so it seems like you had a great year there. Can you tell us a little bit about
Yeah,
that year?
I did what I did 3 years in Fairbanks. Loved it there. The last year I started in Muskegon, and then I had a slight fighting issue, so I went down back to I went to Maryland, and
One sec, one sec here. What do you mean fighting issue? What happened there?
so I liked, I mean, for what was it, my first 3 years, and then all, I think I had 150 penalty minutes each year. Like, I can send you some of the fights. Dad was a little bit of a scrapper back in the day, and I guess the nuts don't fall far from the tree. So yeah, I loved it. I loved it. So but yeah, they didn't take too kindly. I think I had, like, what was it, 2 or 3 preseason games at Muskegon. I had maybe 3 4 fights. I mean, I scored a couple bingos, but they're
Yeah,
like, you can't go out there and just kick the shit out of guys. So
yeah. So they wanted to drop you down to a fighting league, which is the Null, right?
yeah, I was like, okay, like I'm going back then to where my bread and butter's been for the past 3 years. So like I had a good year in Maryland, and then I mean that was a big reason I committed to at the end of the year, committed to Michigan State. Um, so my brother played baseball there. My other brother went there, so I was like, it made perfect sense for me. Our parents were going to buy a house up in East Lansing. So I went in there. But anyway, was it late August? Coach that brought me in on a scholarship or whatever, Danton Cole, got canned, just kind of out of the blue, honestly. And then they brought in, who's it, Nightingale, and in September. And by then, I don't. He wasn't a big fan of the way I played too much. I don't think he doesn't like the meanness, I guess. And so I ended up leaving there, transferring out, and I was thinking about going to other schools, but by then it was already early September, and I'd have to redshirt for a year. At that point, I was just ready to get the life going a little bit. I didn't want to sit at school and sit in the stands for an entire year, not even being able to play or anything. So um, actually, Ohio. Weird story of how I got here. My brother, well, yeah, I was playing baseball for Michigan State, and during the summer they send them away for like summer ball, and he got sent to Athens, Ohio. Right, they were living in a frat house, literally playing summer ball here. And anyway, I came down during one of the weekends, just to like hang out, see him play, blah blah blah, whatever. And I just happened to be sitting in the bar in my Michigan State hockey gear, head to toe, blah blah blah. I sit next to one of the hockey coaches. Just I mean, pure coincidence. And yeah, he struck out. He's like, "Oh, you play hockey for Michigan State." I was like, "Yeah, I'll be a freshman this year." Blah blah blah. I probably sat there for 30, 40 minutes and just talked to the guys. Like, he's like, this is an awesome place. Like, blah blah blah. You come here, we'll help you get into med school, set you up in a sweet apartment. Like, campus is sweet. Like, the games. I mean, he's like, we get probably 2 3 thousand fans every game. It's like like he's like it's like a Division 1 experience, but without like the Division 1 funding, I guess. So that definitely piqued my interest. But I was going into Michigan State, so I grabbed his phone number. He got mine, and I guess I kind of just put it out of my mind for a while. I was like, okay, blah blah blah. I'm going into East Lansing this year. Well, anyway, and everything happened with Michigan State, and he actually just called me out of the blue. He's like, "Hey, I heard what happened with Michigan State. Like, blah blah blah. I'm sorry about it. You still got any interest? Like, would you have any interest in coming here?" And before, I mean, I didn't even know this place existed before I came down for summer ball. Like, I was always from Michigan. Like, I literally had no idea where Athens, Ohio was or anything. And he called me out of the blue and he's like, "Hey, what would you think about like coming here? You know, you come here for a year for sure. If you don't like it, you can transfer out and go back on your way to whatever path you want to be on." And I was just like, by then it was September. I was kind of like, okay, like I didn't want to play D3 for a small school. I didn't want to go in any of the military academies, like Army or West Point or Air Force. I didn't really want to. I wasn't too keen on going that route. Um, and so I was just like, okay, like I came here. Definitely, it was definitely a rough adjustment at first. I was kind of a little lost a little bit because I had no idea what I was getting into. Like, I didn't know a single person. I didn't know anybody. And but yeah, I fell in love with this place. Like, it's funny. My dad was asking me during the year, "Hey, do you still want to go try to go back to Division One? Like, what are your thoughts on that?" And by then, I mean, um, I was like, I love this place. My dad. It's funny. My dad actually fell in love with this place towards the end. He started coming a little bit once his work and stuff died down. He's looking at me. He's like, "Hey, Lakes, like I played at the highest level of D1. Like you're like you're not gonna get this. Like, I mean, we got the band at the games. You get the student support is crazy. Like, um, I mean, 2, 3. I come into the rink probably 2, 3 hours before the game. There's a line out the door for tickets. Like, I'm like sitting there like, huh. Like, you'd be thinking this is only at like a huge like Big Ten like school where like fans are waiting to get into the rink. And I just kind of I was like, it's this place is awesome. Like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I think my dad was kind of like, he's like, I mean, he won a couple national. He's like, dude, this wasn't even as cool as Lake State back in the day. Like, he's like, you think that going to play at a smaller Division 1 school where you get like an Atlantic or something, or maybe a CCHA. He's like, what do you get, 1,000 fans a game, maybe, like if you're lucky. He's like, at a campus that maybe is not as nice, or with I mean, you got 2, 3,000 students there, like everybody. I mean, you get the college experience. We got a huge football team. I mean, downtown at Ohio's, oh, it's unbelievable. Like, we got our own hockey bar, I guess. So I mean, it's pretty cool. I love it, to say the least. So
Wow, dude. I mean, that's crazy. Like, it's like, damn, I was talking to Colin last week, and he was going to Bethel, which is
yeah.
a D3 school.
Hmm.
Um, but it's a lot different for you. You're coming from a D1 school, and Colin was saying, "Oh, I got to take the humble pill now. I got to go play club hockey."
Oh, trust me, not even a question. I would, at the amount of friends I had texting me, Laker, what the hell are you doing? Like the amount of texts. I mean, definitely not even a question. The humble pill was, oh, unbelievable.
It
But,
it's tough to take, and coming from you, you
yeah,
got probably the craziest one I've ever heard. Like, Michigan State commit, and then coming to Ohio, but it's like, dude, like, who knows what could have happened at
not even
Michigan,
a question.
you
Yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm. Not
Um,
even a question.
but now, like, imagine if you went to Michigan, and you were sitting that first year. How, like,
Yeah.
the love of the game is gonna go away. Like, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh, yeah. I think because I mean he brought in half the team transferred out. He brought in probably. I mean, even this year, half the team was gone from last year.
Yeah.
I would have been. I think it would have been, looking back, it would have been miserable had I tried to just grind it out or anything and try
Yeah.
to make something work that maybe wasn't in the cards. So,
Well, that's good that you got that mindset. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I got lucky with like having my dad seeing what he sees from. I mean, he's been around the game for so long. He's like, dude, he's like, hockey ends at some point. Like, he's like, you think I remember 15 years in the NHL? No. He's like, I remember my 4 years of college. Where he's like, it was the best 4 years of my life. Like, he's like, you don't remember what happens after that. He's like, you'll have those memories for the rest of your life.
yeah,
So
especially because you're at that school with 2,000, 3,000 fans, and it seems
yeah,
a lot bigger than what it would be. But like to hear that from your dad is
yeah,
the
that
best thing that you can hear.
oh, not even a question. That definitely, like, because I always had doubts about it. I was like, oh, like maybe the grass is greener, but like hearing that from him was definitely a
Yeah.
huge for me, to say the least. So
And then also, I think it was awesome for you to be like, all right, I don't want to go play for some little D3 school, you know,
yeah, exactly.
just to get the name. Oh yeah, I played D3 hockey.
Yeah.
I'd rather play at your school than play at any other D3 school because you're
Yeah.
getting that huge crowd, you're getting the gear, you're getting the fans, you're getting the crazy college experience. It's
Oh,
nuts.
not even a question. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I know it's not NCAA, but I mean, it feels like, I feel like we'd have to, like, I skate with a lot of guys and NCAA guys in the summer, all my buddies that are, that have come from every walk of life. Like the top ACHA teams, I think would give a certain D3 schools like a run for their money.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, even like a couple like lower end D1 teams. I mean, you see, what was it? Liberty only lost to Anchorage by one or something. Like,
And then they beat LIU a couple years ago.
yeah, exactly. So,
That's nuts.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I you can't beat it. You get the atmosphere of but you get a college experience. I mean, I hear stories of some of these D3 guys. They're like, I got 2,000 students at my school. I know every single one of them. He's like, you do one stupid thing and like, or make one mistake, the whole school knows about it. He's like, I've gotten a couple of my buddies to transfer, or like guys, a couple of my friends, and I mean, they're like, dude, this is way better than I could have ever imagined. Like, so yeah, it's just awesome.
Um, I mean, I'm coming from a Division 3 school myself.
Hmm.
Uh, I went to Southern Maine, and I mean, it just doesn't compare. Like being at this, I go to Kentucky right now, and it's nuts. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
there's you're getting the crazy custom gear. We got 4 jerseys. You
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah.
you get that huge crowd if you've seen it. Um, and then you also get like the recognition on campus. Like
Oh yeah, not even.
they're like, oh, you play hockey? That's the
Yeah,
same thing. Do you
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It's actually like outside of the football and the occasional basketball game. I mean, we get the most fans on campus. Like, it's fun to see that and be like, hey, you're looking at all the other uh, Division 1 sports here, and I kind of like not laugh at them, but I'm like, okay, like, well, you had a whole 20 people show up to your baseball game or something. I'm like, kind of like, beat it, kid. So, um, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely cool, to say the least. So,
all right, so let's get into well, I'll save the last question, which is like a fighting question from the null, but I really want to hear about Ohio. So um so you're a sophomore.
yep, yeah,
You're
yep.
in the sophomore year. All right, nice. So when you got in there, coming from a Division 1 school, did you feel like you did you feel like you were almost too good, or were you like right in the mix? Like how was that?
It was interesting my first year. I definitely I won't lie, I didn't make many friends. I showed up. I was such a I mean, coming from like a high level like that, I was such a dick. Like I was just and especially the way I play, like I just play mean as shit. Like I was getting in practice fights, like especially like looking back, I wish I would have just learned to shut my mouth. But like seniors would tell you to do something, you tell them to shut the fuck up, like
Yeah,
just stuff like that. I won't get into that. Um,
yeah,
I
I know what you mean. Yeah,
yeah, but I didn't take shit. I didn't take anything.
yeah,
And I looking back, it would definitely would have made my freshman year, the first half, a little bit easier, to say the least.
yeah,
Um, but I mean, no, it's. I was surprised at how good it was, to be completely honest. I mean, you play these top gotcha teams, it feels like an all game.
yeah,
Like when we play Liberty, when we play Minot, I mean Adrian. It feels like you're. I'm like it's fun. I feel like I'm playing back in the null, but with a shitload more fans. I guess a decent more like with more fans. I mean, I played in Fairbanks, so we had 4 or 5 thousand every game there. But I'm like, it's like you got your own school to play for. It's like, but it feels like those big games. It feels like you're back in the null. It's awesome.
yeah. And so, you're coming from such a high level. Um, so there's guys that are just as fast as you, and
Oh
um,
yeah, not even a question.
yeah. And
Yeah,
I don't know why there's such a like stigma around club hockey. Like these
yeah,
guys are just as good, and they can go play for that Division 3 team, or there's any single guy on my team can go play for a Division 3 team and be
yeah.
fine.
Oh, not even a question. Like that was a big thing this year. Was I helped try to recruit some of my friends, I guess. And
Yeah,
I'm like looking at them. I'm like, hey, like guys, like blah blah blah, whatever. I'm like, dude, I came from a high level. Like I was going into MSU. Like I'm not above it. I'm not above like this club hockey. It's like this was the best year of my life. I mean, we just picked up one of my best friends or good friends from back home, Drake Albers. I mean, he led Johnstown in points last year in the
yeah.
North.
That's crazy that you got him there.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, I was like, I literally sat down. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, he's like, you want to go, just some super, maybe like be a fourth line at some Atlantic hockey school or a D3 school. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're not gonna have a college experience. Like, you're not gonna have fun playing at some school like that. I mean, and it's funny. We were just talking about it yesterday. Actually, he's like, dude, thank you so much for like sitting down and being like, he's like, I've been here for what, a month, and this has already been the funnest month of my life. Like, he's like, I wouldn't change it for the world right now. So
Yeah, it's good that you're giving that knowledge to someone else. Like you don't want to put them down that path of going somewhere else when, hey, you can come right here and you can have the best time of your life. Because
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
there's you know there's going to be guys on those Division 3 teams wishing they could do what you're doing right now.
oh
You
yeah,
know.
not even a question. Not even a
Um.
question.
Hey, so we got 9 minutes left. I'll try to squeeze out as much as we can, but if it keeps going, like the conversation keeps going, we might have to end it
Okay.
and do another one and get a couple more questions for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So let's hear your first home game, or what it felt
First
like your first home game at Ohio. Was it packed?
first home game in Ohio. I'm trying to think. What was it? West Virginia. Oh yeah, it was Dad's weekend. Yeah. Oh, I came out and I'm like looking around. I'm like, I literally was like, holy shit. I felt like I was playing back in Fairbanks. You'd come out of the tunnel in Fairbanks and you'd be looking around, be 4,000 people sitting there. I was like, I remember texting my dad after the game. I was like, holy shit! I felt like I was back in Fairbanks. Like the amount of people that we had and just the energy in the building was like, I'm like, I mean, we had a band there. I was like, holy shit! Like I was like, this is some next level shit. Like I'm like, this was like fun to play in. Like so definitely. And another big thing, I guess, I mean, we play so many home games. Everybody wants to play at Bird because of the atmosphere, I guess, or whatever. So we got a shitload of teams come. We play so many home games. I mean, it's effing unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like just being able to play in front of that many fans, it makes it that much more fun. Like I'll go out, like you score something, and just your celebrations with the crowd is just effing hilarious. Like definitely, I definitely made my coaches and teammates laugh a couple times last year with celebration. I'm waving to the crowd. I'm sitting here going like this,
Yeah.
blowing kisses. You're pointing at girls in the crowd. Hey, baby, like call me. Like, I mean, like, dude, I was acting like a goofball, and I mean, I was having a blast doing it. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah.
So
Do you have a video of your best goal? Can you give us a rundown of your best goal at home
best goal at home.
and what the crowd felt like and give us a rundown of your celly?
Oh, I'm trying to think. I got a couple. I'm thinking, I think we were playing Stony Brook, and I think, we still ended up losing, but I think we were down. I think I had all three. I think I had a Hattie, and I scored in the first period, but anyways, the third, and we were down 3-1, and I think I scored on the power play with probably 5 minutes left. Anyway, we go into I mean, there's a minute, 2 minutes left, and we get called for like a tripping penalty or something. So we're playing on. Everyone's like, oh fuck, like this is the end of this. Like we were on a heater. We'd won like 6 or 7 games in a row. Like blah blah blah, whatever. And I was sitting out in the penalty kill. He's like, coach kind of just goes, Lakes, go try to score or something. Anyway, I get out there, and I'm never on the penalty kill. My penalty kill is fucking terrible. Like I love I'm a peeper guy, not the PK. Anyway, and I went. I think I went end to end with it, shot it, and I think I went shelf with it through like with 30 seconds left, and I mean the place went effing bananas. I think I was shooting a bow and arrow down center ice, like it was pretty sweet. Like I was like the place is literally. I thought the roof was gonna blow off and but yeah, I'm shooting the bow and arrow down center ice. Like it was pretty cool. So I mean, I was going through the line and fucking kids are ripping my gloves off, like just like they're so pumped up. Like, but that was, I would say either that one. I think actually against what was it, Liberty? I think it was against Colin. I think I burned Colin bad and went on a breakaway and scored. Um, Sorry, Colin, but I think it was him. Yeah, and that was a pretty cool one. I think I scored against on the power play against Adrian to put us up one to win in the third, and I remember I did a bow and arrow down the middle of the ice in that game, and that was pretty cool. But
Yeah. Can you
it's
tell
definitely.
us about that classic Liberty video? Tell us
Oh yeah, yeah.
about playing in front of that crowd and doing that. Tell us how it was.
Oh, so I know there's a couple videos circulating on the net. I know the big one is, what was it, Star Wars night. I did the lightsaber battle. But anyway, most people don't know it was the night before. I think it was Cowboy night. And the first goal I scored, I'm literally getting up. I'll send you the video. I'm getting up. I'm riding my stick like the bull, like literally through center ice. Like, I mean, people are flipping me off. I'm like, they have a group of girls that's at Liberty that stand in like the corner with like pictures of other our guys. I'm like kissing, blowing kisses. I pulled my helmet up. I'm kissing the glass, like just acting like a goofball. Like I mean, the first night, I mean, I in the one goal I scored, I think I let go of my stick and I'm doing an air guitar through fucking like it was bad. Like people are flipping me off, blah blah blah, whatever. And that was just the first night. Frickin' the next night they got Star Wars night, and at this point I'm like because you got the cool ESPN footage, like blah blah blah. Like I was like looking at last night. I'm like Lakes, huh? I was like, how the fuck are you gonna top that? And I'm just like, oh boy, like this is gonna be interesting. And I think I scored on the power play. And I just looked at one of my teammates. I looked at one. I was like, Halsey, lightsaber battle now, and I'm just fucking just giving her with my stick, like, oh, I could tell that. I mean, I went through the line. The Liberty coach is screaming at me, "You asshole!" Like I'm getting the fans are screaming at me. My coach is laughing his ass off. He's all the guys on our team are like, "Lakes, did you really just do that?" Like laughing. Like I was just. I mean, I've had a very good time with like just the celebrations. Like I came in this year to training camp, and they're like coaches are sitting there laughing. They're like, Lakes, what do you got planned for this year? Like the media team's like, hey, when you score, we're gonna have a camera on you. Like we're gonna be paying attention to like what you're doing. And I'm like, oh boy, so I gotta definitely start brainstorming to how to top a couple of those. But yeah, the lightsaber battle. Oh, it got reposted so many times. By the end of it, I was like, oh boy, like I was like if I had like just kids from back home sending me it, blah blah blah, whatever. But yeah, it was definitely funny. It reminded me of the null I scored in a shootout to win it, and I rode my stick through center ice like this, and I was just like I remember waking up the next day and seeing that and being like, Lake, we did not fucking do that last night, and getting texts from everyone. I think I got a text from the Michigan State coach. He's like, hey, I saw your shootout goal last night. He's like, it was interesting celebration there. I was just like, Jesus Christ. But now, I mean, you get here and people just love it. They love it now. It's like, it's not even frowned upon anymore. They're like, that's awesome, Lakes. Like, I've definitely had a blast just acting like a goofball, getting fired up. Like,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
it sounds like you're having an absolute blast, and I'm gonna be taking notes from you. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So.
yeah,
Yeah, especially that Liberty game was just. I can't wait to go back there this year just to like see what I can pull out of the bag of tricks, to say the least.
let's go. I'm fired up. I'll be watching that game. But well, episode 23 is done. It's in the books. Actually, if you want to keep going with it, I got a couple more things I just want to ask you, like some
Yeah,
other questions, maybe off air and shit. But
yeah,
I'm gonna send you another link. All right,
yeah.
I'll send that in like 2 minutes. So I'm gonna end it right now.
Okay, got it.
All right, man. Thanks.
Yep.